I chased after a Manhattan socialite for 3 years and was about to confess my feelings when I had a dream. In the dream, I was a vicious supporting character. The male lead was her family security guard, and she would bankrupt my family because of him. The next day, she, Chloe, sat across from me with an indifferent expression, asking what I wanted. Seeing the flowers I'd arranged everywhere, I squeezed out a sentence. "Could you be a witness for me in a bit? I'm going to confess to your best friend." Her face instantly darkened like storm clouds, and she slowly spoke. "Say that again?" I panicked. "If you don't want to witness it, that's fine. You can leave now." She laughed coldly, gripping my throat. "Use me and then toss me aside?" In the dream, Manhattan socialite Chloe finally got angry because I repeatedly made things difficult for her beloved Lucas. Ultimately, it caused my family's business to completely collapse. My father jumped off a building due to crushing debt, and my mother, already frail, soon passed away from grief. I begged Chloe to spare my family, but she held Lucas's arm, her beautiful brows furrowed impatiently as she looked at me. "You still want to cause trouble? Haven't you learned your lesson?" She protected someone else while hurting me. I went crazy, rushing forward to tear Lucas apart. I felt like my soul was floating, watching the scene. Even I was shocked I could be this insane. This madman was actually me. And why didn't I grab a knife and kill Chloe directly? Kill Chloe first, then Lucas. That would definitely be simpler. But I actually felt intense hatred toward both of them, wanting to kill them. I loved Chloe desperately, but I ran away like a madman, ran into the street, and was hit by a car. After waking up, I felt the dream was very real, very much like those angsty youth novels. So real that I broke out in a cold sweat. Because of this dream, my love for Chloe diminished considerably. Too scary. Loving her came with such a high price. God, that crazy woman in the dream was completely different from me. I drank ice water, frowning as I thought about the dream. It was mainly too realistic. Lucas was the son of Chloe's family's housekeeper, same age as us. We had all just finished our college entrance exams. Lucas was very handsome. Back in high school, I'd gotten into several arguments with her because Chloe tutored Lucas. Each time, I'd sabotage things, either pretending to be sick so she'd take me to the hospital, or paying Lucas to hire his own tutor. After Chloe found out, she really had issues with me. She even told me to stop being unreasonable. The worst time she said, "We weren't even boyfriend and girlfriend, so what right did I have to control her?" I shuddered. I'd liked her since freshman year of high school. Then I begged the teacher to make us desk mates. Then I'd act like an idiot every day, bringing her breakfast, asking if she was tired. When she'd dance and be covered in sweat, I'd be like an old mother hen, wiping her sweat. When she went racing for a while and got her arm in a cast, making it inconvenient to eat, I even volunteered to feed her. God, her group of girlfriends called me brother-in-law, and I actually responded shamelessly, saying when Chloe and I got married, they'd all have to come. I can't think about it in detail. If I do, I'd have to slap my handsome face until it looks like a pig's head. As dawn broke, I watched my dad come down yawning, and my mom also came downstairs. They hadn't been killed yet, both still living in luxury. Remembering how in the dream they were both gone, leaving me all alone, that feeling of being utterly helpless and desperate, I never wanted to experience it again. I burst into tears with a wail. "Dad, Mom." My parents were startled, quickly asking what happened. I said I dreamed Dad's business failed. He owed lots of money and jumped off a building. I said Mom died too. Then they both scolded me together, saying I never think of anything good. I spent the whole day in a daze, thinking about the reality of that dream. I felt dreams must have a purpose, surely a comprehensive judgment of reality. For instance, Chloe really did take care of Lucas, and I'd been pursuing her for 3 years without any response. If a girl really liked a guy, how could she bear to let him suffer? After all, the lyrics say, ambiguity makes people suffer, so she definitely didn't like me. Thinking about those 3 years, I had no dignity at all, licking her boots like crazy every day. Just thinking about it was shameful. I went to the wine cellar and stole a bottle of my dad's red wine. While drinking, I berated myself for being so blind, unable to see clearly for so long. While drinking, my heart ached painfully. I actually liked a woman who would destroy my whole family. I felt my eyes were blind too. At 6 p.m., my phone rang. I glanced at it. The contact said baby. I was immediately scared, sober, but still knocked over a wine bottle. I wanted to hang up, but habit is a terrible thing. I answered. On the other end was a cold, impatient voice. Ethan, you've kept me waiting another half hour. What is it? I asked, trembling. I felt Chloe was dangerous. Maybe this world was just a novel, like what's written in novels. My character setting was the vicious supporting male, so I unconsciously fell in love with the female lead, Chloe. No, I couldn't live out my tragic and short life according to someone else's script. What did you say? You asked me out for dinner? You're late yourself, and you're asking me. Her voice was somewhat frantic. I understood. This wasn't the attitude of someone in love. She really didn't love me. If I was late, let alone half an hour, even half a year, I wouldn't even frown. This was the difference between love and not love. If Lucas asked her out, even if Lucas was late for half a lifetime, she'd definitely still love him desperately. How did I not realize before how cheap she was? I curled my lip, equally impatient. Then go back. I don't need you for anything today. What did you say? Her angry voice came through. I was immediately scared, remembering she was still this world's female lead, who could bankrupt our family with a single word. I could only change my tone. Then wait, I'll come now. I shook my dizzy head. Where are you? I'll come over now. Ethan, I think you're asking for a beating. Remembering her pushing me, didn't she want to beat me? I shuddered, took out my phone, scrolled through our chat history, saw the address clearly, and sobered up a few more degrees from fear. Today was the day I was supposed to confess to her. Our exam results were out, and I wanted to go to the same university as her to make dating convenient. At 7:30, there would be a fireworks show with words written in fireworks. Things like, Chloe, I love you. I quickly changed clothes and had the driver take me to the restaurant. The 17th floor sky garden was full of flowers everywhere, various roses, candles, and a violinist playing, all arranged by me with money. Damn, looking at it made my heart ache. How much money was this for a woman? Was it worth it? When I arrived, it was already 7:20. I wanted to stop the fireworks, but the staff's phone wouldn't connect. Could the plot be this irreversible? When I arrived, panting, Chloe's face was already black as coal. She looked at me coolly. You're 50 minutes late. What did you promise last time you were late? She looked me up and down, frowning. You've been drinking too. I glanced at the time, thinking I needed to get her out of here quickly. Otherwise, seeing the fireworks would be social death. I cleared my throat. I forgot I asked you out. She laughed coldly. What do you want? I looked at her beautiful face, always with that world-weary expression, and could only say with my scalp tingling. Actually, there is something. I like your best friend, Madison. Can you help me? Her cold smile immediately disappeared, staring at me with a dark face. What did you say? She leaned forward. Say it again, Ethan. I felt like I was being stared at by a wild beast, unable to move. Why was her oppressive aura so strong? Help? I swallowed hard, stammering. No. I mean, do you have money? Can you lend me some? Ha ha ha. The alarm slightly lifted. She looked at me. How much did you drink? Not much. How about you go first? I have something to do. You go ahead. She lazily leaned back in her chair. I haven't eaten yet. You wasted 50 minutes of my time. At this moment, the waiter pushed a food cart over with lit candles and roses, a bite-sized steak on a huge plate. The waiter poured red wine, saying it had been decanted. I picked it up, ready to drink, but Chloe pressed down on my wrist. You're not allowed to drink anymore. I quickly pulled my hand back, then put it behind my back, wiping it on my clothes. Being touched by her felt like being slithered over by a poisonous snake. She watched my actions, her gaze icy cold. I quickly brought my hand back up. No choice. The dream's after effects were too terrible. Which university do you want to apply to? Her words were drowned in the huge fireworks sounds. I glanced at the fireworks outside, wishing I could bury my head in the plate. I quickly called the fireworks worker again. This time it finally connected. I walked to the other side of the garden, covering my ears. I shouted, "Why didn't you answer when I called just now?" On the other end was a young man's voice, still jubilant. "Mr. Ethan, I just adjusted the fireworks sequence again. I guarantee the person you like will feel your sincerity." Sincerity, my ass. Stop it. Stop it immediately. Save your creativity for when I confess to someone else next time. I don't like that bastard anymore. Stop it immediately, you hear? Because the fireworks explosions were quite loud, I was almost yelling. Then I felt my voice was pretty loud, then looked to the side. The fireworks had already stopped. The young man on the other end said tremblingly, "Stopped, stopped. But these fireworks were custom-made by you. Even if you don't set them off, I won't refund your money." I said resentfully, "I know. Help me save these. Maybe I can use them in the future." Before I finished speaking, my phone was snatched away. Chloe had one hand in her pocket, the other holding my phone, staring at me dead on. "What did you say?" "Say it again." "Nothing." Fortunately, the fireworks didn't have the confession at the beginning, just drawings of a boy and girl walking through the years together. That symbolized me and her. But there would be no future. Whoever she wanted to like had nothing to do with me. I took back my phone, complaining, "Don't know which psycho is setting off fireworks, disturbing my dinner. Are you done eating? If you're done, let's go." Chloe was in a very bad mood. TCH, if it were before, I'd immediately ask obsequiously what was wrong. Now, if you're unhappy, I'm even more unhappy. I walked toward my own car. She pulled me back. "I'll drive you." I immediately shook her off. She froze. I froze too, but I immediately scratched my head to prove it wasn't intentional. I said, "You don't have a license. I'll still take my driver's car." But, after saying that, I quickly slipped away. Crisis mostly resolved. But after showering at night, people in the phone group kept talking about traveling. Classmates had organized a graduation trip. They were counting people now and could leave after filling out college applications. Someone said, "If Chloe's going, how could Ethan not go?" "Yeah, don't ask him. He'll definitely go. Chloe is Ethan's action guide." Go my ass. I scrolled through the previous chat records. Sure enough, Lucas said he could go, then Chloe immediately said she'd go too. Poor me. I used to be blind, thinking Lucas and us weren't from the same world at all. Chloe was proud and arrogant. How could she like someone from humble origins? What was I then? I typed resentfully, "I'm not going." Everyone was stunned, sending question marks one after another, saying the sun rose from the west. Because I used to chase Chloe so closely, I practically wanted to wait outside the women's bathroom when she went. No wonder everyone thought I was a pervert. I explained again, family matters. You all have fun. When I continued stealing wine to drink, the phone rang. I looked. It was Chloe's good friend, Madison. Madison and I had a pretty good relationship. She often gave me ideas about what gifts to give Chloe. I felt we were good friends. She got straight to the point. "Why aren't you going on the trip? Such a good opportunity." "All right. How did your confession go today?" She didn't agree. "That shouldn't be." I choked up. "Whoa, I didn't confess. I don't like her anymore. I'll never like her again." She cursed, "Fuck," repeatedly, then said, "Wait for her," and hung up. Half an hour later, we sat together in my family's courtyard, with Max wagging his tail in front of us. "What happened? Tell me quick." I sniffled. "I just suddenly don't like her anymore." The fireworks didn't go off either. I just came back. She opened her mouth wide in shock. "Dude, 2 days ago, you said you couldn't sleep, afraid she'd reject you. All through high school, you said you wanted to improve your grades to go to the same school as her. Are you fucking playing with us?" "I'm not playing with you. Fate is playing with me. My heart hurts enough already. Why are you still blaming me? Besides, she doesn't even like me. If she liked me, how could she let me chase her for 3 years? Who she's good to, can't you see?" Madison said, "She's good to you." I said angrily, "No, she's good to her little security guard, Lucas. We're all blind. Forget it." I put my hand on her shoulder, looking at her equally beautiful face. "I'm planning to try liking you from now on. Forget about Chloe. Don't worry, I'll be good to you." Madison immediately fell, sitting on the steps below, begging for mercy. "Brother, let me go. I shouldn't have gotten involved in your mess. Look what you've done," she continued. "I think you've gone crazy since the college exams ended and drinking so much. Wait until you sober up, then we'll talk." "All right, she's applying to NYU. Don't apply to the wrong place." Chloe used to keep where she was applying secret, afraid I'd follow and pester her. To know more about her, I could only build a good relationship with her best friend, Madison. As soon as I entered the house, my parents' excited voices rang out. My mom said, "Good thing I made nutritious meals for our son every day. That's why he scored so well." My dad said, "Good thing I accompanied him doing homework, gave him fatherly love. That's why he scored so well. Thanks to me, thanks to me." I went to glance at my scores, same as estimated. Both Harvard and NYU were possible. But I solemnly told my dad, "Dad, don't worry. Even if your business fails and goes bankrupt, I'm a top graduate from a prestigious school. Supporting you and Mom in the future won't be a problem. Even if you encounter huge setbacks, don't get discouraged. Never give up." One night, Chloe called me. I didn't answer. I scrolled through social media. Lucas's scores could also get into NYU. He even posted, "See you at NYU." I knew it. Chloe also posted a photo of NYU's campus gate, with the caption, "See you at NYU." See you my ass. I casually blocked both of them. When it was time to fill out applications, I immediately chose Harvard. Only after getting the acceptance letter did I slightly relax. Madison told me Chloe and Lucas got NYU acceptance letters. I earnestly advised her, "You should stay away from those two. They're true love. Don't get too close." TV shows all portray it this way. Those too close to the main characters never end well. During summer vacation, I interned at my dad's company. After work, as soon as I left the building, I saw Chloe not far away. She had long legs, elegant posture, leaning against her luxury car, attracting many looks. I used to be so mesmerized by her, I wanted to pounce over. Now I immediately turned in another direction, not going to the roadside for my driver, but to the subway station. But when I slightly turned back to see if she'd noticed me, I saw her striding over with her long legs. She was chasing me. I ran, looking back. Damn, she was running too. The result was predictable. She gripped my wrist tightly. "Why are you running?" I trembled, pressed against the wall, begging for mercy. "Lady Warrior, spare me. We can negotiate. If you want money." She laughed coldly. "Ethan, I think you're itching for trouble. You dare block me and avoid me." She leaned close to my ear, her voice low and terrifying. "You think, after pestering me for 3 years of tutoring, now that you're done using me, you can just kick me aside? Dream on." After saying this viciously, she bit my ear hard. I hissed in pain. Looking at her cold face, I felt wronged inside. She let go of me, face very close, asking, "Well, were you planning to play me?" "No," I said quietly. "How would I dare play with a young lady?" Hee hee. She laughed coldly twice. "If you're not playing me, then why did you block me right after the college exams ended? Weren't you pursuing me because you liked me?" I bit my lip, arguing. "Who said that? I don't like you. We're just classmates and desk mates. Don't slander people. I don't like you." Her face immediately turned very cold. "You don't like me?" Seeing her expression, I was really afraid. If I gave an answer she didn't like, she'd beat me up on the spot. I shrank back. "Then do you like me now?" she asked coldly. "I command you to." I stared at her wide-eyed. How could love be forced? This woman was really cheap. When I used to revolve around her, she thought I was worthless and didn't cherish me. Now that I was cold to her and ignored her, she couldn't stand it and wanted me to like her. Actually, she didn't really like me at all, just her possessiveness. She felt I should revolve around her. Seeing her like this, I felt even more that I used to be blind. I thought she was a fairy, but she was just an ordinary person. Force? When I really force you, you haven't seen it yet. Want to try? Before I could speak, she suddenly kissed me. My eyes widened, heart pounding hard. I felt her suddenly release my hand. I immediately pushed her. She staggered a step back. After pushing, I regretted it a bit. Why did I push her? She had tutored me for 3 years. Although I begged for it, she really did help me. She didn't move for a long while. I carefully asked, "Are you okay?" I didn't mean to. She hooked her lips in a smile, touching my face. "You said you like Madison." I was stunned. That's what I said last time. I looked at her. I had to cut off this doomed connection with her. Couldn't harm my parents. The main character's halos were very strong. A supporting character should stay as far away as possible. I could only use Madison. At worst, I'd apologize to Madison later. So I nodded, adding, "You can't touch a friend's man. You understand this principle, right?" I was about to leave, but she grabbed my hand. Ignoring my resistance, she dragged me into her car. When the door slammed shut, my heart almost stopped beating. The driver in front, us in back. One stern look from her stopped my resistance. She made a call with one hand. I saw the name was Madison. She put it on speaker. As soon as it connected, I immediately shouted, "Madison, save me. Chloe kidnapped me." The other end paused, asking, "What are you two doing?" Chloe spoke coldly. "He says he likes you. I'm asking if he's your boyfriend." "Of course not, sis. Am I that kind of person?" "Ethan, stop throwing tantrums. Don't say things carelessly. It's easy to cause trouble. Without waiting for my response, she hung up. Before hanging up, I heard her curse, psycho. Chloe laughed coldly. See? This is the woman you like. A coward. Thinking how I used to be blind was indeed sad, so I stopped talking. I just sat there, regretting my wasted youth. She didn't speak either. The atmosphere in the car was oppressive. After a long while, I asked, "Where are you taking me to eat?" I breathed a sigh of relief. As long as she wasn't kidnapping me or killing me for revenge. We went to our usual restaurant. When we were studying on weekends, I'd pester her to come tutor me. This restaurant was owned by her family. She had a private room. After eating, we could do homework. When tired, we could rest on the sofa. Thinking of our past, it was all filled with studying, no romance at all, because when I asked her to do other things, she wasn't interested at all. Only when I said I couldn't solve problems would she graciously spend time with me. I'd been to her house too, but always felt uncomfortable. We spent more time here. What? Your barely remaining conscience can still remember the time we spent here. Her mocking voice suddenly rang out. I glanced at her. I'm very grateful you tutored me, but my parents gave you many gifts at market price. It long ago covered your time. I paused, adding, I don't owe you. Before I finished speaking, she suddenly kissed me. She even used tongue. I felt like I was suffocating. Only when she let go did I realize, somehow, she was already sitting on my lap. She wiped my lips. From now on, if this mouth says things I don't want to hear, it'll be kissed like this. I quickly covered my mouth, wanting to get down, but she held me still. Suddenly, I became the innocent man being forcibly taken. Obviously, before she was the one who seemed sexually harassed. How the tables turn. We ate dinner awkwardly. Only then did she drive me home. She even took out my phone and forcibly removed her from the blacklist. After getting home and showering, I called Madison. She soon drove to my house. Still in the small courtyard, we both sighed deeply. Why are you being so dramatic? If you like her, just be straightforward. What's all this fuss about? Sis, it's not that I want to be dramatic. The person she really loves is Lucas. Haven't you noticed from observing? She shook her head. You wouldn't understand even if I told you. My sixth sense is very strong. So what are you planning to do? Thinking of Chloe's craziness this afternoon, I didn't know what to do either. I was afraid she'd retaliate against my parents. I put my head on my knees, speaking muffledly. I can't control myself. You saw before, too. Whenever I see her with Lucas, I can't help becoming the vicious supporting male. How can this work? I felt Madison was starting to believe me because she also sighed, then patted my head. I immediately grabbed her hand. Let's be together. Save me. I don't want to be caught up in her and Lucas's love story. Madison's face immediately changed dramatically, trembling. I don't want to be caught up in your love story either. Fuck. I turned around and saw the furious Chloe. I blocked in front of Madison, stopping the enraged Chloe. I used to think she was cold and aloof, like an immortal descended from heaven. I liked her and pestered her, pulling the goddess down from her pedestal. Now I found her completely unpleasant in every way. Immortal my ass. Move. Her voice was ice cold. I'd be damned if I moved. She's your good friend. What do you want to do? My good friend meeting with my boyfriend at 3 o'clock in the morning? I haven't committed murder. That's already good temper. Madison behind me. I'm fucking done with you two psychos. Fuck, Chloe, what's that look? You want to hit me? It was him who called me over. It was him who likes me and wants to pester me. If you want to hit someone, hit him. Dude, can we not lie with our eyes open? She was undermining me from behind. Chloe, he's jealous, saying you like Lucas and don't love him, so he wants to fight with you. You're really an idiot. I'm on your side, damn it, and you're glaring at me? Go deal with your own relationship. I hope you break up within the hour. Fuck. I turned and frowned at Madison. How can you betray a friend? I'm doing this for your own good. I have no idea when I liked Lucas. You know for yourself. You can say you don't like him now, but you'll like him eventually. Are you sick, Ethan? Let me fucking ask you. Who has more contact with the opposite sex, you or me? Every time I talk to Lucas, don't you come interrupt? How many times have you met with Madison behind my back, talked behind my back? Just the times I've caught you. If not 100 times, then 99. Now you're scolding me? You're scolding me for Lucas? And you say you don't like him? I got even angrier. Get out. I never want to see you again. I pushed her viciously and was about to go back inside, but she easily grabbed my hand. Not giving you a lesson, you're getting lawless. Saying this, she pressed me against the flower wall again, gripping my throat as she kissed me. I was really afraid she'd kiss me while wanting to strangle me. I even tasted the salt of my own tears. When I had no strength left, she finally let go, pressing her forehead against mine. Ready to behave now? I sniffled and nodded. Miss, I was wrong. Can I go inside now? She laughed coldly. What am I to you now? Creditor? Girlfriend? She laughed coldly again. If you dare meet with other women behind my back again, dare avoid me, I won't be so nice. Unexpectedly, in just a few days, my life underwent earth-shaking changes. I went from really liking Chloe to wanting to avoid her every day. Indeed, there's no permanent like, only permanent perversion. Either I'm perverted, or she is. During summer, I interned at my dad's company. Chloe didn't go on the trip with them either. She went to her family's company. She often came to pick me up after work. My parents knew I was dating her. They didn't say anything. They probably thought Chloe was quite reliable. I didn't know. Maybe because I used to talk about her all the time. After school started, Chloe drove me to school with a cold face the whole way. She felt I shouldn't have arbitrarily applied to Harvard. I was now afraid to anger her. After all, she'd discovered how to punish me. I didn't want deeper involvement with her because I'd break up with her sooner or later. Chloe wanted to take me to hotels every day, but whenever she asked me out, I'd announce in the group chat for anyone free to come hang out, or bring my roommates along. As long as I was paying, there were plenty of people to mooch food. Every time she saw a group of people, Chloe would pull me to a corner to punish me, asking why I didn't bring this many people when she tutored me back then. Why did I insist on monopolizing her? She always felt I only pursued her to get her tutoring, and now that I was done using her, I wanted to dump her. When she said this, I got even angrier. She actually didn't trust my character at all. This relationship was doomed. My relationship with Chloe was known to everyone. Either she came to find me or called me to find her. When she took me to her house to hang out, I asked her, "Where's Lucas?" Gave his mom some money to find work elsewhere, to avoid any appearance of impropriety. Some people don't even ask before convicting me. I bit my lip, looking at her. Then she handed me her phone. "Wanna look?" "Look at what?" "Look at my contact with Lucas." I looked at her phone, then at her. "You could have deleted it, and I wouldn't know." She laughed coldly, taking my phone and unlocking it. She directly opened my chat with Madison, asking, "What's this?" She opened her chat with me for comparison. My chat with Madison certainly couldn't compare to hers. I didn't like Madison. What was there to compare? She looked at me. "Your chat with her is only a little less than with me. You think this is normal? If I liked her, I wouldn't have pursued you in the first place. You can't even trust this? I'm very disappointed in you. I've never privately contacted Lucas. You have no basis for not trusting me. Should I go jump off a building?" I opened her phone and typed Lucas. Found nothing. Tried, baby, honey. Found nothing. I looked at her indignantly. "What's the contact name?" "You're playing me." I already deleted him as a friend. I entered Lucas's social media handle. Indeed, couldn't find it. I went to check her posts. That NYU campus gate photo she posted was actually set to only visible to me. I checked her groups. No groups. Seems it was specially set. "So you really do like me?" She laughed coldly. "If I didn't like you, could I waste 3 years on you?" I wanted to laugh, but held back. I could only say, "Yes, time is mutual. Obviously, I pursued you for 3 years. You pursued me for 3 years? All the effort was mine. I still had to endure you making eyes at my best friend every day." I shook her arm. "Since it's all a misunderstanding, why didn't you clear it up earlier? Made me worry so long." Thinking of that dream, I was still worried. "No, must stay vigilant." She pulled me upstairs, saying she'd show me her Barbie doll collection. I didn't suspect anything and followed her up. But as soon as we got to her room, she closed the door and pressed me against it, kissing me. Her kisses were different from before. When she pushed me onto the bed, I finally thought to run, but she grabbed my wrist and dragged me back. Her whole body covered mine. "Baby, after dating so long, time to let your girlfriend exercise some rights." Extra. Chloe's break times were all occupied by her desk mate. He always had endless questions. Sometimes when she left the classroom, he'd immediately follow. She was too embarrassed to go to the bathroom. She thought this couldn't continue. She had to bravely go to the bathroom, nothing to be embarrassed about. But when she came out, she saw Ethan waiting in the hallway. Seeing her, He even handed her sanitizing wipes, happily saying, "You're out. Let's go back to the classroom." She was petrified. She tactfully asked Madison, "If a guy wants to go to the bathroom with you, what does that mean?" Madison looked at her like she was a pervert. "Playing that wild already?" She looked at her coldly. "Madison, stop joking. You mean little Ethan? Does he like you or want to be sisters with you? Look at how he likes you. Feels like he hasn't been weaned." Ethan was indeed very clingy, sometimes staring at her obsessively. It made her heart flutter, afraid one day he'd think the only safe thing was to make her into a specimen. But he became more restrained in sophomore year. She often saw him whispering with Madison. She was quite bothered. Could only pretend to casually ask Madison, "What are you two talking about?" Madison wouldn't hide things. She directly said, "He's asking about your preferences, wants to give you gifts and surprises." She was expectant and happy inside, but said, "Spending so much effort, better to use it on studying." He gave her many gifts: perfume, cups, watches, hand-woven bracelets, dresses, everything. In senior year, Ethan would sometimes get very angry, arguing or giving her the Cold War. The reason was his family's housekeeper's son, Lucas, came to their class. The housekeeper's husband died, son alone in their hometown. Her mom found out and said to transfer the housekeeper's son over to be with us. The first day, before Chloe and Madison went to eat, they called Lucas to go to the cafeteria together to show him around. Ethan usually ate with his dorm brothers. Hearing her call someone else, his eyes immediately reddened. Before he could even get angry, he was just hurt. After that, seeing they had no other contact, he slowly relaxed. But he just didn't like Lucas. But Chloe would still help Ethan analyze test papers. After each exam, first explaining wrong answers, then reviewing which were weak areas to target for improvement. He felt he was overthinking. Chloe's tutoring was much better than random hired tutors. But one day, when he and his brothers came back from buying snacks at the store, he saw Lucas sitting in his seat, asking Chloe questions. It made him furious. He was very possessive of Chloe. Other guys knew he was petty and wouldn't ask for trouble. Ethan was still holding ice cream he'd bought for Chloe, couples ice cream, one for each. But while he bought her ice cream, she was explaining problems to someone else behind his back. Ethan immediately went over, voice loud and angry. "Why are you sitting in my seat?" Chloe was slightly surprised. Lucas was startled and quickly gave up the seat. Ethan sat down angrily, unwrapped both ice creams, took a bite of each, staring at them dead on. Lucas felt the terrifying atmosphere and quickly fled. Chloe looked at Ethan, then at him eating 2 ice creams. "Eating too much ice will give you a stomachache, Ethan. I'd rather throw them away than give them to you." Then Chloe watched him throw both ice creams in the trash. He even looked at her provocatively, raising his eyebrows. She thought he was neurotic. During long afternoon breaks, Ethan would find Madison very aggrieved. Madison's role had become his confessor. He confessed to her, saying he'd acted like a psycho that morning, not only being rude to Lucas, but also having a bad attitude toward Chloe. He didn't know if it was male menopause. Madison was like an advice columnist. She analyzed Ethan's mentality in detail, affirming his emotions were valid, then said he did go a bit overboard and to be careful in the future. Ethan found Lucas and bought him a box of chocolates to apologize. Lucas didn't accept, saying he shouldn't have sat in his seat. Ethan felt if he didn't want it, then fine, he distributed it to other classmates. Lucas asked Chloe questions a few more times. Chloe felt sorry for him and wouldn't refuse. Then every time, Ethan would get very angry, but he knew he couldn't show it, so he'd sadly find Madison. Every time Chloe saw this, she'd ask Madison what they were talking about. Madison couldn't really reveal Ethan's petty thoughts, just said she'd comforted him. Once, Ethan directly told Lucas, "Don't look for Chloe anymore. I'll give you money to find a tutor." Lucas looked at him provocatively. "Who are you to me? I specifically want to find her. If you can, make her ignore me." Ethan almost hit him, but when he had this thought, he felt unfamiliar with himself. The 4th time Lucas found Chloe, Ethan went to the teacher, saying he wanted to change seats. The teacher was shocked. "Senior year, and still making trouble?" Asked what was wrong. He said Chloe explaining problems to people disturbed his studying. He felt out of sight, out of mind. He decided this himself without even telling Madison. The teacher called Chloe to the office, tactfully asking if they'd fought. Otherwise, why would Ethan want to change seats? because she was explaining problems to others. Chloe went to find Ethan and found him with Madison again. He was even crying. She was both heartbroken and angry. She rushed over and pulled him aside, questioning, "Why do you want to change seats?" "None of your business." Still with obvious nasal congestion and choking up. "What exactly are you upset about? Can you just say it?" She thought of him being with Madison and felt he was going to betray her. She angrily said, "Sit with whoever you want, just not me." "Playboy? I'm a playboy? You're who to me that you can call me a playboy?" Actually, she was angrier that he often went to find Madison, but she didn't want to say it out loud and have Ethan think she was petty, and they were nothing to each other. She couldn't really interfere with him. Ethan pushed her while crying and immediately ran off. Madison ended up mediating between them. Madison said Chloe shouldn't get close to Lucas. As long as this was controlled, Ethan would have no problems. So when Lucas came to find her again, she told him to find someone else. Ethan was right there in his seat. Hearing Chloe reject Lucas, his tail practically wagged to the sky, immediately going from storm clouds to sunshine. He didn't care what others said. Chloe could only be good to him alone. Their war ended with 2 days of Cold War. After that, Ethan was considerate to Chloe again. Chloe was still envied by many girls, for nothing else but having a handsome guy like Ethan revolving around her every day, treasuring her like a treasure, and treasuring her unwaveringly for 3 years. Everyone thought after high school graduation, they'd naturally get together. But Chloe was badly slapped in the face. Her former follower, Ethan, suddenly became independent after graduation. He even dared block her. Everyone thought they'd go to the same university. Madison swore she'd told Ethan which school she was going to. She also posted on social media, telling him which school she was going to. But he stubbornly applied to a different school, almost killing her with anger. Those who knew the truth felt she'd been scammed. Wasn't that right? Look what Ethan did when together with her. It was always studying, studying, studying. She was basically a full subject tutor for 3 years. He always acted like he liked her and never denied it. He even blatantly chased away all the guys around her. Was it to stabilize her, play some ambiguity with her, make her sink into it, make her think she could get his body in the future so she'd give her all in the present? Then he really should get an Oscar for Best Actor. No matter what he thought, after provoking her and trying to run, dream on. Ethan's relationship was really like an innocent man being forcibly taken. In the second semester, Chloe canceled his dorm and made him move out to live with her. He firmly refused, saying everyone should have their own space. Naturally, his opinion was ignored. Ethan felt the previous Chloe and current Chloe were very different. He preferred the previous one. The previous one was a clean female student who wouldn't grope him, wouldn't punish him at every turn, and wouldn't interfere with who he talked to. The current Chloe didn't allow him to add females on Facebook, didn't allow meeting females alone, didn't allow being out after 9 p.m. He was depressed after seeing Chloe's true face, like seeing an immortal use the bathroom. All the beauty in his heart was shattered. And Chloe was autocratic, with no democratic virtues. One day, talking with her in the living room, he said, "Don't you think how we are now isn't very good?" She typed code with one hand while saying, fingers still flying, "I still think high school was better. So how about we try platonic love, like going to the library to study together?" He was full of beautiful fantasies. Then going back to our own dorms. I see other students date like this. I think it's more beautiful, recapturing the old feeling. She finished the last line and closed her laptop, standing up to open the bathroom door. Standing in the doorway, looking at him with an indifferent expression. "Done talking? Done? Then come take a shower together." He stared at her, eyes dark and unclear. Sensing danger, he turned to run. She moved quickly, catching him as he tried to escape into the room and lock the door. She whispered enticingly in his ear, "Who was it crying and begging for promises yesterday?"